Hello, everyone. It's me, Simply Smiling. So I wanted to come on today for a quick chat. Grab your beverage. We're going to sit around the table and just have at it today. Today, I wanted to talk about how to find peace in the midst of your storm. And you may say, okay, Simply, what do you mean? I don't have a storm. I want to define what I mean. What I mean by having a storm is what occurs when you're on a journey. What occurs when you start to change something about yourself from negative to positive. It's all the turbulence and all the things that occur. Now, a storm does not start as soon as you decide, okay, I want to do what's right. I want to start a business. I want to be successful. I want to lose weight. I want to get healthier. I want to exercise. Whatever it is you decide that you want to do, whatever your goal or your project for yourself is, that's the beginning of the storm. But the storm does not start there. The storm does not start when you take one or two steps to enter into the arena of making things happen for you. The storm does not start at the end. Okay, nor does it stop at the end, and I'll explain that. The real storm starts in the middle of what you're trying to do. It's in the midst, in the middle, right dead in the center of what you're trying to accomplish. When you decide to step into an arena of being better for yourself or making things change for yourself, that's when everything starts. Your storm could be a place of lack of strength. That could be a storm for you. Okay, you know, when a storm occurs, you have to be powerful. You have to tell yourself, okay, this is something new I'm starting for myself. So mentally, I've got to change. Mentally, I can't enter into a storm that's already going to maybe tear me apart and see what I'm all about and see how strong I am. I can't enter into that with a full plate of weakness from the beginning. I've got to tell myself, let's suit up, let's get ready, let's make it happen, let's get through and to the end of this. Let's get it going. Let's do this. It's a challenge. Yes, it is indeed. During a storm is another time when you can discover your fullness. What I mean by that, you can discover what you're totally made of. You can discover yourself in a whole new person. You're not going to be the person that you were when you decided to do the storm, when you actually stepped into your storm of changing. You're not going to be that same person. You can't allow yourself to be that same person. Why? Because when you decide to make a change for yourself, we're stepping out of an area of weakness. We're stepping out of an area of somewhere we did not want to be. So we need to suit up and find fullness in ourselves to say, okay, I'm ready. I can make this happen. I'm ready to try and make it happen. Be fair to yourself. I'm ready to start going through my storm. We've got to find satisfaction in the storm, okay? We've got to know, okay, I'm going to make all this happen. I'm going to buy exercise equipment. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to write this book. I'm going to study day in and day out. I'm going to pass this test. I'm going to make relationships better between me and someone else or the people I love. I'm getting ready to make this storm the best of me. Okay, I'm getting ready to make this storm the best outcome possible for myself and for others that I care about. Okay, you ever notice when there's a storm, say a hurricane, a tornado, a flood, just high winds, heavy rain, snow, ice, whatever the climate may be during the storm, you ever notice when it's finally over, when it passes through? Even if it tears up things, and a lot of times that does happen, and it's a sad situation. But notice what happens after when it disappears off the radar. There's a calmness of peace. There's silence. It's time to listen. What did I hear going through my storm? What did I learn going through my storm? There's a place of so much peace. You start to hear the birds chirping. Okay, you start to hear things that you could not possibly hear while going through your storm. There's a deafness going through a storm, but you got to realize because you don't hear what you need to hear does not mean that your storm does not have that building capacity for you as you go through it. Okay, there's so many lessons to learn going through a storm. I had to learn. I started a journey. I stepped into it. I decided, okay, I even put it on paper. I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose X number of pounds. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. This is all compiling on the storm. Once you compile and compact all of these things into your journey, get ready. Get suited up. Prepare yourself for the storm. But realize, without the storm, you won't make it. I know that sounds a little harsh, but in life, we're going to have to go through some things, especially when we decide to make things better for ourselves, whatever it is, whatever we're trying to do. Get ready because you know it's not going to be peaceful. Not right away. We have got to learn to weather the storm. Okay, storms come at different temperatures. They come low, they come medium, they come high. When you're at a low rate in your storm, that's just the beginning. You're stepping in, you've made up your mind, this is going to happen for me. When you're at a medium temperature in your storm, okay, you've decided which way you want to do this, how you want to do this. You have a plan now to weather through this storm. You have a plan. You're going to do A, B, C, D, all the way to Z, because we're going to make it happen. You're going to decide what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and even when. Your why is already there. The why was at the beginning. And when your storm is at a temperature of all-time high, you're soaring through that thing. You're getting hit. You're getting knocked down. You're getting back up. You're getting turned around, spin around the wrong way. You're reversing that and coming back the right way. You're mending relationships between you and someone else that you love. You're learning to forgive. You're learning to forget. You're learning to move on and forgive yourself for whatever caused you to have to even endure the storm. You're ready with so much strength and so much power. Why? Because you made it through a low temperature of your storm. You made it through the medium, and now you're at the high. When you're at the high, you're ready to take it on full force. We cannot allow ourselves to drop back down to a low temperature during the storm. During the storm, once you decide to soar, once you finally decide this is what I truly want for me, this is going to happen. Once you make that decision, then you're ready. You're ready. Don't say, okay, I can't do this. You've already passed the low and the medium. You're at the high. There is no doubt allowed. Do not tell yourself, I can't get through this storm. And be prepared, like I said, to forgive others. When you don't forgive others or mend relationships or be nice to people or kind to people, when you don't do all of those characteristic traits that we need to keep inside of us to get us through, when you don't do that, that becomes a wall, a stumbling block, a detour for you not to be able to weather your storm. So it's a lot of cleaning up that happens there too. I think the cleaning up process to get through the storm should start at the medium temperature. Okay, that's the preparation. Okay, low is the decision just to do it. Medium is the preparation, and high temperature is to simply do it. Simply make it happen. Simply get through it. There's a lot of satisfaction and pleasure in going through a storm. I know we hear storm and we think the worst. If you know a storm is coming, if you ever look at places that have hurricanes and tornadoes, if you ever see how they board up their homes and they leave, okay, for safety reasons. Some storms you may have to walk away from for a second. Be it if it involves your mental, you may need to board up some things. Your physical, board it up. Other people, board it up. But come back to it. When you board it up, believe that when you come back, it may not be the same, but it's going to be better. Believe that you're going to step back into an arena of satisfaction and pleasure again. Don't believe that your life is totally destroyed. Don't believe your life is destroyed because you don't have what it takes to weather the storm. You have what it takes. It's right here. You decided that in low. You didn't jump straight to high temperature. You have what it takes. You stepped in A, B, C, and you making it happen. You stepped in at different levels. Low, medium, and high of your storm. So you have what it takes to weather the storm. We cannot allow our storms to directly influence us every single day. Okay? Now, I'm not saying live in a fake world. It's a real world that we live in. And some days you're going to compile different storms on top of your major storm, the little storms, I like to call them. They will come too. But to conquer a little storm, you already have what it takes. Believe that you have what it takes, and you have what it takes. If you don't believe you have what it takes, it's going to be hard. Your storm is going to hit you up against all walls. Your storm is going to knock you off of your feet without the strength to get up. If you don't believe, once you believe, when you get knocked down that you can get back up and you shall and you do get back up, that's called weathering the storm. That's weathering the storm. That's called the fullness and the pleasure of the storm. So when you hear words like, oh, I'm dealing with a storm today, if you say that to yourself, then know that, yes, you're dealing with it. You're confessing you're dealing with it. You're not saying I got a storm and I'm not going to deal with it. So once you say I'm dealing with it, then just deal with it. Your storm and how you deal with your storms are a reflection of how you feel about yourself. Okay? If you say I have a storm, I'm not being able to get up and make a healthy breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I don't have that. So that's a storm. That's a small storm. Okay, just start preparing differently. Start making a total effort to change that small storm. When you see yourself conquering all these small storms, I can do this, I can do that. They're little steps. When you see the small storms getting conquered, that gives you the motivation. That gives you the stamina. That gives you the drive to do and get through into the larger storms. My largest storm back in the day, it's been a while, was to fight my food. I fought with food and I won. Why? Because I ate it. I would tell myself, okay, simply don't you eat this. I'll push it over. Simply don't you eat that. I'll pull it back. Simply don't eat that. I will push it over. And it went on and on and on like that until I finally just ate it. And then what happens after the storm when you have that internal battle? What happens? You don't feel good about it. You feel bad about it. Now, I'm not saying don't eat the foods you love. Of course you do. It's all in the preparation of how you prepare your food. Eat whatever you love. Do whatever you want to do. But be prepared for the storm if it's something that you really don't want to do. And if it's something positive that you're not used to doing. The storm comes in negative ways, and through positive ways. Negative meaning I should not have eaten that food and I was in a battle. And positive meaning I want to correct my life. So a storm is going to come. We are not exempt from storms. We are not exempt. But we have to know if we practice makes perfect almost. If we practice and make good habits and good habits and good habits and good mind thinking, and feeling good about ourselves. If we practice all of these things to use when we come up against a storm, we're totally ready. We're totally ready to weather the storm. So don't let the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the earthquakes, the bad rain, the heavy storm, the volcanoes even. Don't let any of those situations erupt in your life to the point where you're not able to handle it. If you have to cry it out, cry it out. I cried many days. Really, big crybaby here, hello. But the tears washed away a lot of pain. The tears washed away a lot of remorse. The tears washed away a lot of memories of things that I did not even want to remember, or that I continuously remembered day in and day out that was causing me to have an internal storm. So challenge yourself to get rid of your storms today. Challenge yourself to at least challenge your storm. It's okay to challenge your storms. If storms arrive in your life in a negative thought or in unforgiveness or in something you need to mend in your life, challenge that and be prepared to soar. Okay? Don't challenge your storms with a lot of doubt. There's enough doubt already there. A storm is negative. It's a negative situation because it holds you back. It destroys you. Okay? Sometimes we have to rebuild. Rebuilding is good on a journey. Why? Because you're fixing something that was wrong. Okay? And when you decide what your storms are and what storms you want to deal with, fix those. But take small steps. Storms come, in large amounts sometimes. Like I said, you have storms on top of storms. But find one you want to deal with and see yourself conquering one. Then see yourself conquering two if you have more than two. Conquer all of them. But see yourself doing it. Sometimes you just got to see yourself through. You got to believe yourself. You got to know that inside of me, I have what it takes to make it happen for me. I may not have what it takes to happen for you. Then again, we may be able to work together for the good of both of us. But always decide to conquer your storms. Find that strength of staying power. Staying power means that it stays with you. The power is always with you. Even if your flicker goes out a little bit, reignite. Regenerate, refurbish, get it relit, make it happen for you. So thanks for sitting around today. My tea is probably cold. I believe it is. But I'm going to make me another mug of hot tea. Enjoy your day today. And remember, you can conquer your storms. Why? Because you know what they are. You know why they're there. And you're going to have positivity in your life. Once we get through that negative storm of the mind, we have this, conquer that internal storm, peace and love, and a lot of it. Bye.